Yeah.
Okay.
Hello.
So we are at Gut Haidehof, and we have this market garden from last year. This is the second season, and right now we have 8 sections of 20 meters, of 20 beds per section. They are 300 square meters per section, so right now it's 2,400 square meters. Last year we started only with 5 sections, so this year we're expanding a lot,
Okay.
too much.
And how many people are working in the garden?
Yeah, so this season we are 2 full-time. We have 1 intern, Pepe, which is awesome, and some help from the other part of the team on Mondays or harvest days and stuff. Yeah, but 2 full-time, 1 intern.
Okay, and you sell boxes and
We
vegetables
sell,
as well?
yeah, 65 boxes at the moment, 4 really high standard restaurants and 2 shipping companies that provide food for the employees, plus the farm shop on Saturdays. Yeah, so big quantities.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long is your season?
From, well, depends, what do you think is a season?
Like how long do you deliver vegetables?
Okay, so from June, the boxes start earlier, like maybe the end of April until the end of October. For restaurants, we start in June to October. Yeah.
And you have for the restaurants, you deliver specialities or the
Yes.
whole?
So we offer them everything, but they prefer to buy flowers and herbs and specialities, baby carrots, baby beetroots, which is good. So we can thin the beds and have the baby for the restaurants and the big ones for the boxes. So it fits well. Yeah.
Okay. How much does a box cost?
So the small one, which is for like a couple of people, that will be 15 euros a week, and the big one, which is just maybe like a big family, 25 euros a week. Yeah, and people subscribe for the boxes at the beginning of the season, and they pay for the whole season.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you cannot say this week yes, other week no.
Yeah.
You have to be.
Yeah, just
Right.
because of the administration work is too much. So we prefer doing it like this, and people are happy to do it. So yeah, it works well.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
And what kind of market garden are you running? There are so many different types and.
So it's a No Dig market garden. We have 75 centimeter beds. They are 20 meter long, but in our minds we divide them halfway, so they are in our minds 10 meter long, just so it's easier for crop rotation and for crop planning, because when we have 20 meter long beds, then you may end up with 300 lettuce at once. And so right now the sales channels that we have don't require those big quantities, but in the future we're planning that they will. So in this way we are very flexible. Yeah.
Okay, and you do a lot of planting, but direct seeding as well. I see here the cut lettuce.
Yeah. So the majority of the crops are planted, but we have some direct seeding like salad mix and rocket, radish, spinach, and maybe that's it. Yeah, not a lot. Yeah.
And you do your own seedlings?
Yeah, that's I'm very strong in that. I think it's the best way of doing it, because you can control the quality really well. I'm not very happy with the quality of the seedlings you get when you buy them from big nurseries. And you can also play with varieties and have fun with that. Otherwise it gets super boring. Yeah.
So you like that part?
I like it. I think it takes too long, but we put it in the middle of the week, so it's a day where you stand up for once, you're not like bending, and you can listen for a podcast and of course be super quick, but you know the position of the body is different, and you have kind of like a break within the week.
Yeah, nice. And you have the No Dig beds?
Yes.
So you worked with a lot of compost at the beginning?
Yeah, I think this is something interesting for people to understand, that we started with a lot of compost. It was around 8 centimeters per bed of thickness, but it was the wrong compost.
Okay.
So the first time in my life that this happened, but we planted wherever it was, beetroots, lettuce, and they will not grow. And spent too much time trying to understand the trouble. And at the end, months later, after trials and errors, and I realized that the problem was the compost. So it was an imbalance of the salts. It wasn't even that they had too many salts, but it was an imbalance of them. Okay. So that was, yeah, a nightmare. And that combined with the couch grass that we had everywhere, made us having to dig by hand with a fork every single bed in the garden to mix the soil with the compost to try to dilute it, and also get the couch grass out, which was tons of it, like tons. So that was mistake number one. So we need to be very careful with the quality of the compost that we put. And so that's what happened, is that then I didn't have mulch anywhere. It was all bare soil, and I already dug everything. So everything against of what we wanted to do was done. So this year, with this fertilization regulation law that you have, we couldn't apply the same quantity of compost again. So we had to decide where does it make sense to have mulch with compost and where it doesn't. So right now we have one section over here that has our own compost. And then we chose the brassica section with municipal compost, this time a good quality one. And we decided to buy it last autumn so that it kept decomposing until this spring. Because no matter what, when you buy it, it's too hot. So, and I'm very happy now with this way of doing it. And we still have some sections that doesn't have any mulch or any compost. And in the long run, I want to have also like a crop rotation, mulch rotation system. So I don't want to have every section mulch with compost. So that every section during the years have different ways of mulch. Not just because of the law, but because I also think it's better for the soil. So we are doing some trials with trying to grow the mulch in place. But last year the voles ate all the seeds, so it didn't work. But yeah, we also have sheep, and I want to try to mulch the brassica section with sheep wool. And yeah, different ways. I'm a bit crazy with this, and I have a lot of ideas, but we need to work slowly with them.
Yeah. What are your main tools? You have no BCS?
No. I think it's super expensive for a garden like this. So we have the wheel hoe from Terratech, we have the JANG Seeder, we have the tilther, and yeah, the green harvester. And then manual tools like the Japanese weeding tools and hoes, and that's it, not much knives. Yeah.
How do you like the green harvester?
Yeah, I don't like it. No, it makes your life easier, that's for sure. You need to be really good. It's like you need to be very good friends of this tool and understand really well how it works. But it's never the same quality as a knife, never. The regrowth is worse, and yeah, you get a lot of weeds, and yeah, it's good to have it. I didn't buy it last year because I wanted to make sure that it makes sense for this system. I didn't want to grow salanovas because of ethical reasons, and I wanted to see first, okay, am I selling enough salad mix to pay for this investment? And I was doing it, so then this year I bought it. But I think I'm going to sell it again because I don't think I will grow salad mix again. Okay. I'm going to go for lettuce, salad heads. Yeah, and for the rocket and other stuff, it's just quick with a knife. So I think I'm gonna sell it. Yeah.
What are your favorite crops?
Ooh, all of them. I love what I do, so I don't have a favorite one. Some of them are very annoying, but I anyway love them. I don't know. I don't have a favorite one. Yeah.
Do you have some tips for newcomers or starters? You have quite some experience in market gardens.
Yeah.
Is maybe something we can see at the beds or?
Well, I think a lot of people struggle with weeds, and I think if you are structured with your work, you can get rid of the majority of the weeding tasks if you do the hoeing every week. So in this situation, for example, this bed is planted yesterday. So next week I'm gonna pass with the hoe, with the big one like this. Even if I don't see weeds, they will be there starting to grow. I will go with that one. Then the next week I will go with one that is a bit smaller because the leaves will be already a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
And then the week after with one that is even smaller because the leaves will be even bigger. And that's it. That's all the weeding. Like if you manage to put that on your weekly schedule, you don't have to weed. In this season we expanded too quickly. So we didn't have the time to do this as I like to do it. So in many beds we have too many weeds, but if you manage to structure the weed, that's it. There is no weeding. Yeah.
How are your experience with water and the compost?
Very good. Like I think is the quality of the compost is what makes the difference. If it doesn't have too many woody things, then it's fine. It goes through it. The problem is when it's thick and big pieces. Then it becomes like a crust, and it doesn't go through it. But then the hoeing helps you to also allow for the water to go in. So yeah, I'm happy with it.
And the good quality compost also keeps the moisture?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, keeps the moisture. Like I can see it in this section, we don't have any mulch, and it gets dry super quickly. And in the other sections where we have compost, it takes many more hours for it to dry. So yeah.
And you have every section has a fixed watering system, so no moving any sprinklers and stuff?
No, in other gardens I had to do that, and the amount of hours lost were insane. This irrigation system was a big investment. I would say the biggest, if we don't count with the fence around, but it's totally worth it. I don't have to think about it. It's beautiful. Yeah.
How do you like this clip system?
It's great. Yeah, it's really easy to connect and disconnect. Sometimes it gets a bit, you need to be a bit strong, but it's just super quick. Yeah, it's good.
Do you know the name?
Quick connector. No, I don't know. Yeah.
And how do you like these sprinkler types?
Perfect. Yeah, they work really well.
Yeah.
I think this is the way to go. I was thinking, climate change, maybe we should go for drip irrigation. But with the sandy soil that we have, it will not work at all. So, and also changing crops so quickly, then the drip irrigation will not fit, and yeah, we will lose too much time. So for now, I'm very happy.
And for especially the direct seeded stuff, you need at the beginning the sprinklers anyway, or?
Sure, but you could also organize it in a way that one section has all your direct seeding crops, and that's your section with sprinklers, and then the rest with drip tape. But yeah, it didn't make sense with this soil. So yeah, and then every section is divided by this thicker or wider perennial bed, we call it, where we planted some berry bushes and some trees, and now we have lots of flowers. And I mean, it's starting right now. Everything looks very small, but the idea is to start to grow, perennial crops that always stay there. And it's also super beautiful to be working here and look around. It's full of flowers and bees and butterflies. Yeah, it's also for the soul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of gardeners say that, or especially the small ones.
Yeah.
Say we need spaces for the soul, we need nice elements.
Yeah, I mean, you live here, right? Like I spend in the garden 12 hours a day and then I go to bed. So the place where you live, it needs to be beautiful and yeah.
How do you like the spacing recommendations from the American or Canadian guys? Does it work?
Yeah, I think it works really well. There are some brassicas for me are too tight, like broccoli, cauliflower, some white cabbage. These things, 3 rows for me is too tight. So now I'm doing them in 2 rows, and I know it makes the bed less profitable, but I make sure that I have a good harvest. When I have 3 rows, it's just not worth it. You lose it. Yeah.
How width is in the row? So 2 rows?
So 2 rows, 30 centimeters between the plants. Yeah.
And you cover it at the beginning?
Yeah.
And then later you open it?
Yeah, so we cover it until the leaves touch the net. And I find that is the risky time for the butterflies or any other pests. Once they touch the net, then we remove it, and they are able to cope with the damage. That's my feeling. Yeah. Of course, there is some losses, but not in big quantities. Yeah, that's how we manage pests with brassicas. Actually, there is nothing else we do. Yeah.
How many rows with the carrots?
We are doing 6 at the moment. Yeah, 6 because one of them is a round, is like a ball, and we like to have more space for them. Yeah, so 6.
And you go there with the wheel hoe as well, or?
No, they're here
not possible, right?
at this stage right now. This is the perfect moment for doing finger weeding, as I call it, which is my favorite weeding. And we do it once, and that's it. Then the leaves of the carrots cover the bed, and then we don't have to do it anymore.
And you probably put the carrots in the compost mulch beds? Or doesn't matter?
No, I put them everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you don't have too much weeding to do in the other ones?
The same. I mean, more than in this one, for example, but it's the same task. It's just going through the whole bed, weeding with the hands, with the fingers, and yeah, just once. I don't find it bad at all. Yeah.
And red beets, why is the decision for 3 rows?
Yeah, I think it works well. I don't know. I like the way they grow like this, and they also, so you have more plants per seedling when you see them in trays. So like this, it has enough space for growing like 4 or 5 in here. So yeah.
And you start with the babies and then let them go bigger and bigger?
So the babies go for restaurants, which they love them.
Yeah.
And then allow the other ones to get bigger. So yeah, you get more crops, so to say, per bed. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And bed preparation, for example, after this cabbage.
Yeah.
What would you do?
So we remove the cabbage, and normally we give it to the cows because they love it.
Yeah.
And then we do broad forking, not because we need it. Our soil is super sandy, so we don't need to do broad forking, but we have a lot of voles. So in my mind, it's kind of like destroying their habitat. I don't know if it works, but it's super quick to do it, so we do it. And then we just pass the tilther and then the rake to make it flat and nice, and that's it. Yeah.
So and then after that it looks like this?
Yes.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in this kind of system without the BCS, it's essential to remove all the material.
Yeah, and that's the most annoying part of it. Yeah. Yeah. For some crops like salad mix, I just do occultation, so I put landscape fabric over it for 2 weeks, and then I remove it and I just plant it.
Okay.
So the organic matter stays there.
Yeah.
But for crops like cabbage,
Yeah.
no way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
And in some parts for the longer
Yeah.
crops, you use the
Yeah.
landscape fabric.
Yeah, so for what I call nightshades, which is not all nightshades, we also have zucchinis, but I group them together. I always put landscape fabric. I don't like it, it's not beautiful, and it's very annoying, but for this it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So one section is always with this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we're also trying with some experiments that I never grew in this climate, like artichokes. In my country, they're perennial, so yeah, but it's going well. And then sweet potatoes, which I have no clue, it's the first time I grow them, and
But beautiful.
they are beautiful, yeah, yeah. And then we have
Let's
also
see
parsnips.
how
and
many left, because I've heard the mice are loving it.
yeah, yeah, I'm counting with that. I don't have big expectations. Yeah, but now we have 2 cats in the garden, so yeah. Yeah.
These are huge.
Yeah, my first success with parsnips. And then with the pumpkins, we will see also mice really likes them, so we may lose them all.
Are you already harvest?
Yeah, a little bit, not great, but yeah, just to be safe.
And you're also expanding in the next few years.
Yeah.
What are you doing about the couch grass?
So the 2 new sections that we are using this year were covered with landscape fabric for a full season. And that's what we will do. The first year we couldn't do it because we needed to start growing in the same season, but now we can plan ahead, so that's how we will do it. We'll just cover the section landscape fabric, 8 months minimum, and then it's ready to go. And the first season we also added some biochar and some clay, some lime, because this soil is really, really bad. And I guess we will do the same with the other sections, because yeah, I think it makes sense to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any other pest control in place except from netting?
No, just netting.
And it works.
Yeah, I mean, I always count with losses. That's how it is, and I think every year will be better and better. Yeah. But I prefer to do that than starting to fight with other organic pesticides.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I prefer to grow more and count with losses than having a fight. So we are not allowed to have a greenhouse. So that's why we decided to have caterpillar tunnels, which I actually really like as a nursery, because you can have way more ventilation.
Yeah.
So like you can just open it all, and in hot days like this, it's like if they're outside. So even if we get permission at some point to get a greenhouse, I'm not sure if we will buy it. Yeah. Yeah, so this is where we have the tools.
Nicely structured, everything has its place.
Yeah.
A little bit of lean farming.
Yeah, I'm also like in my life, I'm very obsessed with tidiness. So this is something I really need in my workplace. And yeah, the whiteboard, we organize all the tasks.
Yeah.
Yeah, the seating table.
And you see it in quick pots.
Yes, yeah, they're really good.
Yeah.
And then this is a heating table that we now cover because the cats like to use it as a toilet.
You have the sand.
So we have
the
sand,
heating
yeah,
tables
and heating
underneath.
tables, yeah. But we only use it at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
So
and then
now
you have another cover over.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, in February when we start seeding, we have it covered with row covers. Yeah, and this is the little bit that is missing to plant. Now we're coming into a point where we're not seeding much.
Yeah.
It's the sad moment in the garden when you look around and there is no much. But yeah.
What are you doing with the beds in winter?
So some of them they're just covered with landscape fabric because I have no time to put green manures because they are harvested too late in the season. And then I'm trying to have some sections where I don't put any more plants from now on, so that I can put in like 2 or 3 weeks some green manures. It's an annual mix that's supposed to die in the winter if you have a winter. And last year we didn't, so we ended up within green manures.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you had to cut it all.
We just put the compost on top, and many of them were just dead like that, but some of them were kept growing. Yeah. So then we with them. Yeah, a bit of a nightmare, but yeah.
But you think we in this no dig system without the BCS low tech, we are not able to have winter cover crops. We need some. We can use the one to frost kill.
Yeah, I mean, I think there are people who manage to grow perennial green manures and then kill them in the spring with tarps, with the landscape fabric. If you put it over for 2-3 weeks, it works. That is my aim. That's what I want to do. Also, when I want to grow this mulch in place, but I didn't manage to do it yet because of the voles. Yeah. But this season we are planning to have rye and veg in the section of the alliums, which is the one that gets empty, the first one. And we are going to try with this system so that the next year we can interplant in between. I'm not that happy with it yet. In my mind, you cannot use the rake to do the spacing for the plants. It's a different system, so we need to figure out how to do it, but I'm really excited about it. Yeah, I saw it on, there's a farm called Fritz Farm somewhere in the US, and I'm totally in love with the way they do it. It's really, really, really good. So we'll try it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really excited about to see about that next year.
Yes, yeah, we will try to do it with the JANG Seeder because last year it was just by hand, and I'm hoping that between the cuts and the seeds being more underground that we can manage to grow it. Yeah, nice. We'll see. Yeah.
Something you want to say to the audience? Yeah,
I guess for me the most important part in this garden is the team that I'm working with. Otherwise I won't be here. Like, what am I doing in Hamburg? Spanish girl in Hamburg. Is the team I'm working with. I have the best partner ever in the garden, Borg. He's on holidays now. Finally, he really deserves it. He's great. And also with Astrid, Stefan and Hannes, that's what makes this very hard work to be so fun. Otherwise, it's too crazy. Yeah. So I will suggest to anybody who is starting to first get a family together, that you can share knowledge and experience and skills and also fun and social life, because you're always here. Like, you need to be surrounded by good people, otherwise it doesn't work. Yeah.
Wow, nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.